everybody, I am the Chief of Wrestling, Craig Anderson, and you're listening to Dirt Sheet Mania, Episode 9. Hello everybody, we are...
Craig, just wait there.
What?
We are like a week and a half away from Mania.
We are.
How excited are you?
I'm literally buzzing. Because we haven't just got WrestleMania now. Because of NXT, we have NXT TakeOver. Yeah. We have the WWE Hall of Fame induction ceremony.
We have the Raw after Mania.
And the Smackdown now.
And the Smackdown after
So
Mania.
there's, what, 5 nights?
5 nights.
How much wrestling is that? 2,
That's
5,
too much wrestling.
7, 11...
Mania's
13.
about 14 hours this year.
It's going to be about... Oh, mate, Hall of Fame's like 5 hours?
It's about 4 or 5 hours, that.
There's nearly about 20 hours of wrestling.
So the thing is, on that Friday of the Hall of Fame, I'm working from 7:45 in the morning till 10 o'clock at night.
When?
On that Friday of the Hall of Fame.
Oh, on the Saturday I'm working at 8 a.m.
Yeah, so I'm going to be sitting there, I'm going to watch the Hall of Fame live. I do it every year.
So you're going to... So here's an agreement. You tweet about the Hall of Fame, because I'll be able to watch the first couple of hours, because it'll be on about 11 it will start? 10 or 11?
I think it'll start about 1 o'clock. It's 12, 1 o'clock.
Really? Does it?
Yeah.
Okay, because I'll work at 8 a.m. on the Saturday, but then I've got the rest of Saturday off, all of Sunday off, and then all of Monday off until 4. Yeah. So I'll be sweet as for the rest of the weekend, but you're going to have to...
I literally have a week off for Mania and everything.
And fair play to you.
And then I've got to go back to work and it's Grand National Day.
So not only have we got WrestleMania to look forward to for next week, we've got to talk about Raw and SmackDown from this week. Now...
We do. It's always...
General consensus.
The penultimate week of the build-up to WrestleMania is always the hardest week. Because I assume that they know where they're going on the last week before Mania.
Yeah, no.
So the week before, it's like, okay, what are we doing? And I think this week it sort of went that way. It was like, we don't know, we're just filling a week here.
I completely agree. I think more progress was probably made on SmackDown in regards to matches and finalising some bits and pieces, particularly with Bryan. But on Raw, we're going to be looking more at the John Cena Undertaker. Where's that going? Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar. We've got a bit on the tag division, obviously, with Braun Strowman. He might even reveal his partner on Raw because Sheamus and Sora have an opportunity. But did he, didn't he? Well, shall see in a bit. But we will start with Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns, which do you think will go on last at Mania?
Honestly, I hope not.
Me too.
And honestly, the way this is going, and possibly the rumours of Lesnar not signing a contract...
And the rumours of Paul Heyman turning on Lesnar.
And the rumours of that.
Which you didn't know about.
Well, no, I didn't. But if it happens, it happens. I think
he's done it before.
Yeah. I think this could be a short little match at Mania.
I mean,
considering how many matches there are going to be at WrestleMania, this could be 3, 4, 5 minute slugfest. It could be a 1 minute 25 to 1 minute 26 second match. The
way this is going, I mean, what are the odds on this going on first? Could you imagine?
The only match that I can possibly see going first, and I haven't really thought about it, but I think AJ Shinsuke has to go first.
I can see the US title match going on first.
Yeah.
But again, we've got some development on that on SmackDown. So we start on Raw. Paul Heyman comes back to the ring with Lesnar. So after not being here and telling us he's going to be here and he's not here, he's been here 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
So
don't give that man a raise.
And last week he popped out twice. Yeah. So cheers, Brock. Thanks for giving it the beans.
Yeah.
Paul Heyman tells us that Roman Reigns, his temporary suspension has been lifted. So cheers Paul for that. I thought maybe that Stephanie or Kurt would probably be telling us that, but apparently Mr. Heyman has some inside scoop.
Apparently he's in charge, which would be nice. But he's not in charge, but it would be nice.
But he'd also be a great GM on SmackDown. Ooh, because there might be a spot opening up, and if Brock's not around,
he might not have nothing to do.
No, and the last time he was in charge. Pretty decent.
It was pretty decent, yeah.
Heyman and Shane running SmackDown.
Yeah.
Oh.
Maybe Shane might not be around, but...
Well, we don't know. So, apparently Brock is not... as much as Roman's suspension is lifted, he's not there, as Heyman tells us, but then he shows up.
Still in his wrestling gear.
Still in his wrestling
Well, without his bulletproof vest, whatever it's called.
His chest protector?
Yeah.
D'Lo Brown had one. Yeah. Very successful.
Yeah, but... yeah, he's there in his Roman Reigns t-shirt because obviously you've got to sell the merch.
Still got injured, but gotta sell that merch, brother.
Gotta sell the merch. Yeah.
He got killed.
Yeah.
Again.
This is what makes me think they can maybe do this again next week, and Roman just has that short little match.
Is Roman an underdog? Which sounds bonkers.
Well, yeah, he should be in terms of this match because it's Brock Lesnar. But I think we all know what's going to happen. So they have to do something shocking in this match because I can genuinely
Heyman turning on Brock.
Yeah,
that would be shocking.
That could be it because other than that, we all know that Roman's going to win.
Yeah. It's generally if I mean there's not been many matches in WWE history where it's been so obvious. I mean the one where. The only other Brock Lesnar match I can think where it was so goddamn obvious he was going to lose was against Eddie Guerrero. Because we all knew he was going to leave. And it was either going to...
He was always going to lose to The Undertaker, didn't he?
but then his contract, though.
Yeah.
But you can always tell a lot by a contract.
Yeah.
So
the contract's definitely... Look, Roman's going to win this match. And I think this is almost a match that we're going to sit there and watch. And go,
and unfortunately, between now and... I say unfortunately, maybe that's the wrong phrase. But between now and Mania, we're going to be talking about it more. So, I mean...
If this match goes on last at Mania, we're going to be sitting there going, hurry up. Honestly.
And I think 4:45 in the AM English time?
Yeah. That's Triple H versus Roman Reigns.
Oh,
we sat there and was like, just hurry up.
Well, I wasn't here for that.
Yeah.
And I'm not sorry about that.
No, I wouldn't be either.
I mean, I will say that last year I was on the way back from a wrestling show in Bognor and I missed the start of WrestleMania, so I watched it on my own at home. And I love wrestling. I'm glad I was on shows and stuff, but I cannot wait to watch it with you boys this year. I desperately missed it last year. It has been desperately missed it last year.
Yeah, watching Mania with your mates. If you don't have mates that like wrestling, please get some.
The other thing that I didn't like about it, so they had a brawl and then eventually Brock F5 Roman on steel steps in the ring. And the only thing I literally detested about this, it was then as Roman was rolling around on the floor, he just brushed his hair out of his face because when you're in pain, Kieran, and you're trying to sell an F5 on steps, you naturally go to brush your hair out your face.
Craig, you have quite short hair. I also have quite short hair. I have a beard though. Do you know how annoying it is when you've got hair in your face?
If you've just been F5'd, okay.
My eyebrows need a bit of a trim, so I understand that
Let me put it in
eyes. It can be annoying.
Let me put it into a context that you might understand. Instead of an F5, which is obviously a gimmick move, whatever. If you got punched in the face, right?
Who'd want to punch me in the face?
Bear with me.
Right.
Bear with me. If you got punched in the face by me, maybe in a minute, and you had an itch on your foot randomly, you wouldn't give a crap about the itch on your foot because your face would be hurting. You'd be in pain.
I'd asked my opponent to wait until I itched my foot and then he could punch me in the face.
No, I mean he's already punched you.
Wow.
You're hurting. This isn't a gimmick match. This is a real fight in the street. Do you know what I mean?
I don't know. I'll let you have this, but until I get punched in the face,
I like that. You're picking your battles. You're like, yeah, go and have this.
Just have this. It's all right. It's fine.
Oh, never mind. Nia versus Mickie James. Now there was only going to be one winner here. Nia literally rolled over onto her and destroyed her. The gorilla slit press into a Samoan drop was devastating.
Yeah, it's quite impressive. You don't really
smooth.
You don't really see much of a gorilla press slam these days. I think that's a very 90s move, isn't it?
Viscera used to do that, or Mark Henry.
Goldberg used to be like Goldberg's. When I think gorilla press, I think Goldberg because Goldberg was like power
into the Samoan though. Rikishi.
Yeah, I'm sure
Samoan heritage.
Yeah, possibly.
I loved that.
I just think a gorilla press as a move, you don't really get to see it much. I don't know whether that's because to basically body press someone above your head.
Apollo Crews does it because he drops them behind, then he does the backflip.
Yeah,
so he does it.
Yeah, I just don't think it's a move that a lot of
maybe he taught Naira that when they had the mixed match challenge match.
Possibly, yeah.
Storytelling. Yeah. Nia wins, but then Alexa Bliss tries to get a very quick cheap shot in, and then realised that she's just really annoyed her even more.
Yeah, and this is
get your words out.
Yeah, this is the penultimate episode of Raw, and this is the problem. I don't know what they're doing right now, and I think they know what they're going to be doing next week.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure Alexa will probably say, maybe do a bit more fat shaming or something like that, and say something about Nia to really send Nia over the edge.
I mean, if she's not already been sent over the edge, I'm not sure what else they can do. But I completely with you. It's
So this week's this little match, this little just Alexa trying to get just get a punch in or whatever. That's all it was. It was just like we didn't really need this week for this.
No, we didn't, and that leads us on to another, again, like we say, penultimate episode before next week, and then Mania. Ronda Rousey, Kurt Angle versus Triple H and Stephanie. Now, we had a video package of hyping up this midnight workout and all, like, all right, well done. You can work out at midnight at 2 a.m. Good stuff. And, I don't know why we need to see their workout schedule. We know that Hunter's
while they're sitting there doing their workout at midnight, 2 a.m., I'm sitting here eating food at midnight, 2 a.m., and I know what I'd rather do.
I'm having a great sleep, mate.
Yeah.
I've just watched maybe an episode of Scrubs.
Yeah.
Give it a check out. It's on Amazon. And then I'm like, do you know what? I think I'm going to go sleep now because it's 1 a.m. So, to hell with that.
Well, to be fair, at 1 a.m, we're usually watching wrestling.
We are watching wrestling because of the goddamn time difference.
Yeah.
But, so they did
this to me was just sort of a bit reminiscent of the UFC little promo packages that they do before fights. They're just showing the little workout and what they're doing to be ready for WrestleMania.
Do you think they tried, from an authority standpoint, we're calling them the authorities, they are.
Yeah.
Do you think they did a really good job from their version of the video package? Do you think they did a really good job of making Ronda look vulnerable in this match, for this match?
Yeah, I think so. Because obviously we've got to remember that Ronda's a superb athlete. What she done in MMA and UFC was tremendous, and obviously she's she's been in an Olympic Games as well.
Let's say how it is. They created a division around her. Yeah. In MMA. They made the bantamweight women's division for her.
Yeah.
And then people rallied into that.
She is literally a superstar. And I liked a little bit where Triple H and Steph basically she's coming into our world. This is my ring. This is our ring.
I've written down here that Triple H and Stephanie should be the favourites. They should be, because Stephanie's had matches. Yeah. But they're not.
She's never had a match at WrestleMania, which I thought was quite an interesting.
She's not. She's valeted
constantly.
Bunch of times.
For about the 27 times that Triple H has lost at Mania.
Do you know okay? We're doing a WrestleMania quiz for next week.
Yeah,
but I'm going
guarantee this is one of the questions.
I'm going to ask you a WrestleMania question right here, right now.
Triple H has lost 12 times at WrestleMania.
No, nothing about Triple H. He's got a horrific record. I
think it's 12 times.
Is it 12 times?
I think it's 12 times.
Put them over, man. Apart from Triple H, Stephanie McMahon has only ever valeted for one other person at WrestleMania. Well done, Kieran Smith. But that was also in the main event.
Ding, ding, ding.
At one point. Yeah, check out our quiz. I think it's going to come out Sunday on YouTube. So the intern, Jamie Smith, will be asking us
Easter Sunday. Well, I'm eating my Easter eggs.
Easter eggs. Well, you need to get some Easter eggs. Maybe the winner. I'll tell you what, the winner has to buy the other one. The loser has to buy the other one an Easter egg.
Craig, I'm just getting an Easter egg anyway.
I'm going to buy you
fat. I need Easter eggs.
Kurt and Ronda come out, and they hype. They're hyping the match. There's nothing to this apart from hype.
Yeah.
And I must admit at this point I'm wondering where it's going, because I'm thinking, are they going to roll out Stephanie and Triple H 2 weeks before? Not again. Maybe next week. Yeah, sure. And then Absolution come out. I'm thinking, okay, fair enough. Out comes Paige, out comes the girls, Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. We know that Mandy and Sonya will be in the women's battle royale at WrestleMania, and rightly so. Paige, oh hello babes, oh hi darling.
What was
baby girl?
Is it baby girl?
Hey baby girl.
She said it about 5 or 6 times. It's like, I love.
I started to forget what the word actually meant. She said it so much. Oh baby girl.
She's great on the mic. But baby girl.
Oh, baby girl. She wanted Ronda to become the 4th member of Absolution. Yeah. Now, while I can't even begin to imagine what would have happened if she'd accepted, she politely sort of declined, and then Paige went, "Oh, baby girl, that's a wrong decision, baby girl." And it's so sad having to watch Paige leave a ring for 2 people to come in that are not as good as her to try and beat up someone that's going to kill them. I mean, I don't think I would have liked Paige to get annihilated by Ronda. But
I mean, I don't know, like in terms of her being cleared, but surely she'd be able to take a punch, like
slap.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's not.
It's whiplash. Is it? It's a neck as well.
Yeah, I mean, if she obviously used fell on the floor on her back. How you meant to take a
with Bryan being cleared, I've listened to Edge and Christian talk about it. I'm sure Paige has probably been tweeted a bunch of times. I'm sure maybe there's been others of wrestling past that come back for one more match and stuff. Maybe Stone Cold's been tweeted and stuff. So, it's all very different. This is a concussion issue. Christian's was concussion. Paige's is a neck. Austin was a neck. Edge was a neck. So it's all very different injuries, which I don't think people kind of understand.
But if someone goes randomly on the street, decides to go punch Paige in the face, because it could happen, and she might have an itch on her toe at the same time.
For God's sake, you are an idiot. You're an absolute buffoon, Smith.
Is she going to sort of run away and say, "Oh no, I'm not allowed because I've not been cleared, so you can't punch me"? No, she's not. She's going to take the punch. So surely she should be allowed to take the punch. But it's, like you said,
Brian wasn't touched the entire time.
Yeah,
apart from a little tap and a fall against that.
But it is sad to see Paige in this way, and hopefully there'll be some sort of
obviously Ronda takes them to the cleaners. There was one timing issue when Ronda did that exploder suplex that she's done a bunch of times now. One on Steph, one on Triple H, she hasn't done it on Steph, big part. One on Triple H, one on Dana Brooke in that hidden segment last week when the Absolute Delusion was on, and now another one on I think it was on Mandy, and Sonya was supposed to run in and catch her. But either the throw wasn't far enough or Sonya was late.
I'd probably say Sonya was late. I think in that you can't judge how far you're going to throw someone.
Do you remember when was it Titus O'Neil threw someone and Mark Henry was supposed to catch them behind and he threw it over their head? Yeah. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I think it's like Survivor Series. That's funny. And they got killed and they went away. So cheers, Absolution. You've just helped to fill a week. So next week I assume we'll get a face-off between the four of them.
Yeah,
maybe a contract signing.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't done one of them for any match really at Mania.
No,
see, a lot of the matches or the segments we're going to talk about tonight, I think a lot of it.
We're literally halfway through though.
It almost feels like we're ready for them. We don't need anything more. There's possibly, I'd say SmackDown possibly has a bit more than we're waiting.
Well, let's have a look then, because next up we've got the Cruiserweight division. This is an advert. The match is made, exactly like you've just said. Cedric Alexander versus Mustafa Ali will be on the pre-show. I would like this to close the pre-show, if I'm honest. I think it deserves it. It'd be a great match.
I don't want it on the pre-show purely for the fact that if they're trying to build up the division, this needs to be on the main show.
How do you think this would be received if it opened?
The opening match of the main card.
You got 8 minutes. You got 8 minutes, lads. Go out there, kill it.
I think it needs more than 8 minutes.
Yeah, but
so that's why it has to go on the pre-show.
Right, okay, no, there you go. That's what I mean. If it went on the main show, it would have not necessarily limitations, but it would certainly be. They would have probably 12 minutes on the pre-show. Yeah. They maybe only have 8 minutes or 7 minutes on the main show. So, pre-show for a better match or main show for a quicker match.
I just think, like I was saying, in terms of what they want 205 Live to be and what
it's already better than it was.
Yeah, but it needs to be on the main show. But it'll be a pre-show.
They had a tag match against Drew Gulak and
TJP, was it?
Yes, it was. Heel TJP still seems weird to me.
Yeah.
And they won. But fair enough. There was a blind tag moment, I think, where Mustafa then blind tagged and got his inverted 450 in. Sweet ass move. Oh, yeah, really cool move. We move on to Miz TV.
This is probably the best moment of the night, I'd say.
Yeah, I think so, because it swerved us all for a little while. Yeah. Miz wanted to address the moment between him and the Miztourage. Finn and Seth both trying to get involved, stirring the pot, playing peacekeeper or moderator, I think Seth called it. There was some lines I'm going to read you that Miz dropped on them, and then that especially Bo rebutted with.
Because Raw was in Cleveland as well, wasn't it? So
which is Miz's hometown. Yeah, so. And the first thing Miz said on the mic was, I live in LA. Which I thought was
funny. I mean, you knew it was going to come in some way, but it was just as simple as that, I thought was funny.
Yeah, that's it. That's all he had to say. Bo, Miz said to Bo, maybe you should go and Bo leave yourself back in catering. Loved that. Bo then called Miz a phony A-lister that can't fight. Loved that. And when Miz was listing off the best Intercontinental champions, so he's better than, he said he's better than Mr. Perfect. And at this point, Curtis is still telling Bo to calm his beans down, and then he just turns around really slowly. Now, did you at any point think that the Miztourage was going to go to town on the Miz, or did you always think?
Yeah, I bought into it. I'm not afraid to say that I bought into it. I mean, I sat there and questioned, as like, why would they get rid of the Mr. Raj at this point for the Miz in terms of that happening? But obviously, we found out.
My only theory at this stage, the only point when I knew it was obvious was when Miz tried to leave and the Mr. Raj closed the gap, and then they started backing into Seth and Finn. At that point, I'm like, okay,
yeah, it's camera work, isn't it?
It's camera work. They're gonna get in, and then Miz is gonna duck, and they did that. At one stage, I thought, could this become a fatal 5-way?
Well,
because
WWE love a multi-man match.
They do, and this multi-man Mania, as we know.
Yeah.
And Cedric, Curtis Axel, he's won the Intercontinental title once.
Yes.
You know who he beat?
Miz.
He pinned Miz.
Yeah.
Miz had a figure 4 on, I want to say Wade Barrett. Might be wrong.
I think it was.
He had it was a triple threat match. He had a figure 4 on Wade Barrett and
Dolph.
Curtis Axel slid in and covered Miz when he had the figure 4 on him.
Yeah.
Got pinned 1, 2, 3. Paul Heyman was the match, and it was on Father's Day.
Yeah.
So I thought, this is it. This is his time now.
Yeah. It's actually as of recording, Wednesday is Mr. Perfect's birthday today.
Oh, is it?
So,
Oh, happy birthday, Mr. Perfect. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Oh, well, there you go then. And honestly, at one point, I thought, fatal 5-way, great way to push them up. And even if the Mr. Raj changed their name and stayed together, fair enough. As a tag team, a bit like the Team Angle. Do you remember Team Angle?
Yeah.
And then they became World's Greatest Tag Team.
Maybe they need to become a tag team because we've talked about before. Tag team divisions need depth, and as long as they maybe shy away from the Miz a bit more and become their own tag team. As we know
that it was a swerve. Finn and Seth then had this sort of a perverse tug of war with the IC title when they both beat each other up a little bit. Miz tried to come in and they saved each other, but then beat each other up again. So
I don't know about you, but seeing the IC title in the hands of Finn and Seth, it looked right to me. Miz has made it the most prestigious title in Raw, and that's down to the Miz. To me, it looked better on Finn.
Just suits, doesn't it?
Yeah,
just feels.
But it just looked good.
Kieran,
I can't wait for this match.
It feels right.
It just feels right.
As you just alluded to, we want them to look like a tag team in Mr. Raj. They did face Gallows and Anderson.
Yeah.
And they lost. So cheers, lads, for that.
Yep.
See you in the gimmick battle royal.
Yes.
I imagine
it's not a gimmick battle royal.
It's the Andre the Giant. The women's is the gimmick.
If it was a gimmick battle royal, that would be quite late again.
Sasha and Bailey had fisticuffs.
They had
finally
they had a bit of fisticuffs.
Talk us through it.
So,
can you
what
remember?
what was it that
they're backstage?
Sasha said that she was a 4 times Raw Women's Champion, and Bailey said to her, "How long did you hold it for?"
Yeah, add them together, something like that.
Yeah.
And do you know what? Not without actually knowing the official times and dates and things. I think if you added Bailey's 1 reign and added Sasha's 4, Bailey might have held it longer.
I think so.
Generally,
Sasha's reigns were literally Charlotte claimed them back on the pay-per-view, so it would have been.
It was Raw pay-per-view. Raw.
Tops 90 days. Tops 90 days, if that.
Bailey's 100 or something, maybe.
Yeah, potentially. She won it the February pay-per-view, didn't she? And she held it till.
Yeah, because she beat her at Fastlane.
Yeah.
She lost it at Mania.
And then Alexa got traded from SmackDown to Raw in end of April.
Oh, so, Ponzi. You're not hardcore, and she's not.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah, I remember
I think you're talking about probably similar. It'd be interesting to see that.
But fascinating. We'll find that out. We'll get back to you in the bridge. Actually, we'll do that in the bridge. We'll tell you all about that. We'll do our research. So you had a little brawl. They're both going to be in the women's gimmick battle royale at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
No singles match. No time. No place.
Yeah, this will be the ultimate. Let's say the ultimate. This will be the feud that basically transcends this battle royal.
I think Sasha might win.
I think Becky wins it.
Ooh.
I think Becky throws them both out or something just at the end of it. This
Lita will win.
Yeah, this is what they're going to be in the battle royal. It does deserve a Mania match, but because the card's so stacked, they're just not going to find a way to put them on there.
Do you want to know who Braun Strowman's tag team partner's going to be?
Who's Sasha?
Because Alexa Bliss.
Wow.
The Bar want to know too, and Braun basically said to them Raw, if you can beat me, I'll tell you. Fair enough.
Yeah.
How many times has Sheamus been world or WWE champion? 4 times?
4 times?
Yeah.
4 times
apparently he didn't find this acceptable.
No.
Sheamus is rather unhappy bunny. I thought this was quite funny. Braun's like, if you can beat me, Sheamus, I will happily tell you who my tag team partner is going to be for WrestleMania. Sheamus like, this is really unfair. Why? Why have I got to beat you? No. I'm like,
considering that he was the Money in the Bank and he cashed it in and he won. I mean, that's probably quite the unfairest thing that ever happened in
to
WWE.
Win, and to win his first WWE title, he put Cena through a table and beat John Cena, and yet he thinks this is unacceptable.
Classic heel.
What a badass! what a dirty dog! This probably made me laugh probably more than it should have done, but yeah, Sheamus and I love Sheamus and Zara. I think they're hilarious together.
You can tell that because they're like best friends out of the ring as well, and they're out of the show.
Well,
you can just tell they just enjoy it.
They've always gone up, down, down as well. Check that out. That's a great little YouTube show. After us, of course. But they made a good point. Like, we dress like a tag team. We are a tag team. We have an entrance. We have matching gear. We're matching
together.
Yeah, they say we eat together, we train together, we sleep together. No, not like that. But we speak together. We drink together. Pepsi Max, by the way, we're not alkies. We eat together. We watch wrestling together, and sometimes we nap together when we're in the middle of a show. Yeah.
Usually that's Callum first.
Crumbs!
But then
you
usually fall asleep. I never fall asleep.
Have I ever fallen asleep? I did. NXT.
Was that time when I put my finger in your ear?
I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't like that at all.
No.
Ears are not for being put in.
No. Other friendlier ways are available. I'm sure you can Google them.
Sheamus couldn't beat Braun. Shock horror. And like I say, later on, one of Braun's the person we think Braun's tag team partner was going to be was Elias. Most likely because of their recent rivalry as well. Was going to be Elias. But then when Coach and the announce team started openly talking about it, and Coach did a poll, Elias was the top person that came up on the poll. To me, they're kind of
Elias was in the ring.
He was against Rhino.
Yeah,
beat him quickly. Even had a little beat down on Sea Slayer. Where do they? Because to me, if they're going to make it a surprise, which it's going to be a surprise, it's not going to be Elias for me now.
It's now too obvious. I think it's too obvious. It's probably going to be Elias now, and it still might be Elias. And I still think if it is Elias, it will get a big pop because he'll probably just come down to the ring.
You said a joke one.
I said a joke one. I said James Ellsworth, but I think that's honestly right now, when you think about it logically, it is the best pick.
I believe you. I know this is going to be a point when we come to our WrestleMania prediction, but
70 to 80,000 people will pop for it. I think some will be disappointed.
Some will be
they'll probably say, "Oh, why can't it be The Rock?"
Who's that person, Mummy? Who's the skinny man in the ring?
As long as it's James Ellsworth in his black trunks and red boots, and it's not
with the I've got two.
Yeah, or something.
No, as long as it's not Carmella's.
As long as it's not Carmella's version.
Lapdog.
Carmella's version of Ellsworth.
He was fired from Smackdown, so Raw could pick him up. That is a viable process.
And I'm sure he's probably in New Orleans.
Oh God! Everyone's going to be there. Even a whole of England's going to be there.
Yeah. Could be anyone.
Could be anyone. Which pretty much moves us on to the last segment of Monday Night Raw. Kane wants the Undertaker. Cena wants the Undertaker.
Kane wants the Undertaker was about 10 years ago. So.
WrestleMania 20, that wasn't it? Cena wants the Undertaker. Kane we knew this match was going to happen. For me, a very risky match, so close to Mania. They both went through a table. Not so much for Kane, but for Cena. Went through a table. He suplexed Kane through guard railing. I know it's gimmicks, but it still didn't look pleasant, to be fair.
No.
So both went through tables. In this match, Cena did a choke slam on Kane. Don't do that again. He sat up, which I liked, and he did the throat cut, which I liked. I thought it was
didn't know you could do the throat cut on WWE TV anymore, but that was one of those things I just thought maybe they don't allow. But
did he stick his tongue out?
I think so. I think I've seen the gif of him doing it.
He didn't roll his eyes. He just did the thumb across the throat. But I know what you mean because it's a PG product. It's questionable whether you're allowed to do that. Obviously, John Cena is. He wins the match through an AA through a table and then runs down Taker again. Where are you? Shouldn't there be the bit where there's a dong or some lightning? Kieran, try and help me here. Like, why are they waiting so close to Mania for the Undertaker to appear? Or will he even appear before WrestleMania? Will it just be Mania match? Bye-bye.
There's enough advertised star power for WrestleMania that this doesn't need to be advertised, in my opinion. I get that some people might disagree with that, but in my opinion, it doesn't need to be done. Personally, if we don't see it next week, he's obviously going to be appear at Mania. But right now, I'm thinking just let Cena come to the ring at Mania, call out the Undertaker, see if he appears.
Cool. So wait for Mania.
Yeah. Almost unannounced. You know, maybe Cena needs to hijack WrestleMania and say, look, this is where I want my match with Undertaker. If he comes out, we're wrestling. If not, next match.
For me, if that happens, he has to come out.
Yeah.
Straight up question, because I think this is probably the only other little tidbit for this match, and maybe for the whole card that we haven't really kind of got to. Career versus career?
I would have liked career versus career, and I've said it.
It's too late in the day for this.
That is too late in the day. It's far too late in the day.
Could they do it Monday next week? Put that there, because then that to me just shows.
Maybe that's the one where that gets Taker to come out. If Cena goes, do you know what? I'll put my career on the line. Because that's desperate. Cena's desperate to find a way out of WrestleMania. Now, how desperate are you going to be? Are you desperate enough to put your career on the line? No. That could be it.
No, but there could be. We'll find out.
In terms of career versus career, I think that needs to be advertised quite a bit. And you need to be... Because usually you'll have a rundown of Cena's career, and you'll have a rundown of Undertaker's career, and you'll see which one... Because the Shawn Michaels Undertaker one, career versus streak, you had a rundown of Shawn Michaels' career and what he'd done before the event. And
we literally go, that was it. Cena walks off and Raw finishes. Yeah. So we're going to move on to our... We're going to call it... What did you call it? The intermission.
We're going to go for the intermission. We'll see how that one sticks.
Wait, so it's not the bridge. It's not the pre-2013 Divas toilet break match. Yeah. It's now the intermission.
I'm sure if we ever got a sponsor, we could call it the sponsor something. But
we drink Pepsi Max like it's going out of fashion. So if you're out there, Pepsi Max.
The Pepsi Max 5-minute break.
We don't talk for 5 minutes.
Yeah, we don't.
3 10.
We talk about stripy pajamas and blue Peter badges.
Hepatitis. Guys, that's been our Monday Night Raw. We're going to stick around now for intermission, and then we're going to talk about Smackdown and Daniel Bryan's changed a match. Check us out. Coming up next, the intermission. So in the little intermission there, we've done our homework and we found out how many days that Bayley has had the Raw Women's title for, and how many combined days Sasha Banks had. Now, Kieran, I've got here, Bayley had the Raw Women's Championship once for 76 days. Yeah. Tell me about...
Sasha had 4 Raw Women's title matches or title runs at 82 days.
So that's 8 more days. Yeah. So...
Guys,
who would you class as less or more successful there?
I'd classify Bayley as more successful personally.
Okay,
so 16 world titles means you've lost the title 16 times.
Mm-hmm. I'm always a bit skeptical about this.
But when you say someone's only won 1 world title, but if they've had 1 world title run of
JBL,
was it? He had 280 days or something like that.
He won it in he beat Eddie at Bad Blood, which was about. Was it April, March?
June, something like that.
Before, middle of the road between that and
you could say that's almost more successful.
He did it for 9 months, but you only have it once.
Yeah.
Was it more successful? Maybe.
It's not as successful as Flair or Cena, personally, but I'd say that's more successful than someone like Sheamus.
I agree. So, welcome to the intermission, where we sit back, we get some popcorn, we have a nice little beveraging. Cheers, Kieran. Cheers. Pepsi Max is nice. Just a few things to go through. Finn Balor liked my tweet. Thanks, Finn.
Sweet.
I mean, to be fair, it was a bigger story than just Finn Balor liking my tweet. It was a match I watched 4 years ago at PCW. I just got into British wrestling, doing some ring announcing and a tiny bit of refereeing on local independent shows. And I watched the late Chris Travis versus Finn Balor, which was Prince Devitt at the time. Yeah. Friggin' awesome match.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure on my time hop the other day there was something about Chris Travis that popped up on mine. I mean, obviously I'd never had anything to do with the man, but obviously I knew of him through you. But yeah, just I obviously saw your tweet today and saw that. I was like, oh yeah, Chris, But it's crazy. It's crazy how, looking at the picture that you put up, how skinnier Finn is.
Do you think?
Until he is now, yeah.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Oh,
he's more. Finn's more ripped now. Clearly, he's more ripped.
Yeah, he's
because obviously he has a contract that he gets a certain amount of money no matter what. Back then, he's obviously earning his 100, 200, 300 pound a show or whatever.
Yeah,
he's doing,
absolutely. But because I mean, I know you're traveling a lot in WWE, but I also think on the independent you're probably traveling more.
Yeah.
Because you basically make your own schedule. You go from maybe Japan to England. For him, he was in New Japan a lot with the Bullet Club.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm very privileged to watch that match. Awesome match. They tied up a few more times, but I was very lucky to see that. And I got to ref Chris a few times as well, which I was very happy about, very privileged about. And fair play to them all. Very good match. So mixed match challenge. It's dropping viewership again on this Facebook watch for the past week. Of course, we don't get to sit here in the United Kingdom until Friday morning. Well, whenever Friday hits.
Is it? I think it's Wednesday after Smackdown. Wednesday after NXT.
No.
Is it not then?
No, it's Friday morning.
Okay.
So technically midnight Thursday.
We already know the result, and you're only going to look for one match. So
So unfortunately, Charlotte wasn't able to compete this week, so she had a substitute replacement. It was either going to be Lana, Carmella, or Becky Lynch, and the polls were in. It was Becky. Even for a kayfabe gimmick, I thought this was a sensible decision because it's a babyface.
It didn't even need a vote, really.
It did. I don't know what the official, because we don't know what the official ones were because we can't watch it.
Yeah.
Until Friday morning. And I don't know how, but they won.
Yep.
Becky and Bobby beat Finn and Sasha. And
the only reason why I think these two beat each other, there's two reasons, I'd say.
There's one main reason in my head, but
the first reason that is Raw v SmackDown.
No, fair enough. Yeah.
And the second one is that if Charlotte is to come back and replace Becky, which I think you've told me that is going to happen.
Well, it's not because I've made it up or my sources. I'm not Meltzer. Yeah. That's what they said. So Becky is literally a 1 week replacement.
So you get the tease of Charlotte versus Asuka in the ring against each other on Mixed Match Challenge, which will probably pop the viewership a little bit more. I think it'll make it go up.
Miz and Asuka will win.
Yeah,
I mean, I'd be surprised if they don't.
Can't lose a streak.
Even if she loses a tag, apparently she loses a match.
It's an unfortunate thing here that if Rude was going to be in this final match, that he doesn't have the United States champion. I think because if he was US champion, Miz IC champion, then you've got the two people going against each other. I think it just
good
adds another
symmetrical
dynamic to the match. But.
No, I agree. Good symmetrical. It makes them look not as strong going into the match.
Yeah.
I kind of expect Miz to pin Bobby Roode. To be honest, in this, I can't see Asuka or Carmella. Theory. I'm literally just dropping this in now because it's just come into my head. It's utterly ridiculous. Could Carmella cash in?
During the middle of the match?
Mm-hmm.
Then it would make it a triple threat at WrestleMania. Craig, why would you do this?
Could Carmella cash in the middle of a mixed match tag team match?
Why would you do this?
Could she?
She could. She won't.
Could she though? Is that...
Why would you want to ruin possibly the best bell-to-bell match at WrestleMania?
No, I'm telling you, will she cash in at the mixed match challenge?
No.
It just came into my head. I just wanted to throw that into you.
She's not cashing in. She's going to tease a cash in at WrestleMania. She's not.
No, she'll fail at Mania.
She's not going to win at WrestleMania.
She'll fail.
She might win on SmackDown Live on Tuesday after Mania. But anyway, go on.
Interesting. I don't think she'll win. The greatest Royal Rumble that will be in Saudi Arabia.
The greatest Royal Rumble.
Which, after you thought it would be at 5 a.m.
Yeah, I went forward instead of backwards.
I don't even know. Like, I when you said I went forward instead of backwards, I sat there and my head couldn't even comprehend. I'm getting a headache.
It's very hard. We just had daylight savings time, so it was very hard to work out whether we were watching Raw and SmackDown at 12 a.m. midnight or 2 a.m. But, it was very hard to work out.
So you've used the Saudi Arabian to American time East Coast difference, and then you've gone forwards.
Yeah.
So you were literally 12 hours ahead.
Yeah.
So it's 5 p.m.
Yeah. So the Greatest Royal Rumble, which will be shown on Sky Box Office.
Oh. And on the network.
And on the network.
So we'll get it fine.
So whatever. I'll watch it on the network because I'm not paying 15, 20 quid to watch it on Box Office.
Hell no. That's why we have the network.
It's going to be on at Friday, 5 p.m.
Delicious.
What a great time.
I'm at work till 5, so
yeah.
You're off on a Friday, aren't you?
I'm usually off on a Friday evening.
So even if, and I'm all right with this as long as you are, we can wait till 6, sit down together, and watch it. Just stay off social media no.
We'll watch it live. I only do live wrestling. I can't do this recorded nonsense.
Yeah, but we won't look on Twitter.
Yes, good luck with that one.
Yeah, no, okay. So there's 2 matches we know. There's 3 things we know. One, the Greatest Royal Rumble will have 50 participants in.
Yes, which is huge.
At the moment, the biggest Rumble in history is 40, which was Alberto Del Rio won in 13, 14?
Something like that, yeah.
There will be no women on the show at all.
Yeah.
That isn't because WWE have just gone, nah, cannot be bothered. That is law. That is Saudi law.
Yeah. Saudi Arabia's got a bad human rights record. And
You do question why WWE would bother.
yeah, but I think it's Saudi Arabia are doing some sort of initiative to try and make them into a more 21st century country, which you've got to admire from that standpoint. You see them try and change it, but to not allow women to wrestle there is different. I think women have only just been able to get a driving license in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah,
so I mean, in the grand scheme of things,
generally is that something? Yeah.
In the grand scheme of things, allowing two women to wrestle is not a big thing compared to them allowing to have a driving
From
license.
our point of view, when you see, for example, in London, there's a company called Pro Wrestling Eve, which is a women's wrestling company.
Yeah.
The only men in that show, I think, are refs and maybe a commentator. In Japan, there's a women's company called Stardom.
Yeah.
All women. So.
And you got Shimmer. Is Shimmer one of them?
Shimmer, yeah. Shimmer's in America.
Yeah.
That's a full women's promotion as well. That's, I think, where there was a women's trainer at the WWE Performance Center now.
Sarah Del Rey.
She was there for quite some time, I think.
A lot of women have gone through there.
Sarah Deeb, I think, probably went through there as well. So for them to, when we think of that, and we think, yeah, of course there's going to be women's wrestlers, but then you go to somewhere like this and go, oh, we've got 2 women's matches tonight in a tag.
Yeah.
You can't have that.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy, especially like we're in a modern society over here in the UK, and maybe we're used to it. But obviously, there are countries that are behind the times.
I thought if they were going to do this, I thought it would have been great to have it in Australia, which they're going to do.
Yeah,
have the greatest rumble in Australia.
Have a big event lined up for Australia at the MCG, which is like 100,000 seat stadium. So it will probably break the Dallas WrestleMania record.
That'd be huge.
Probably. And if anything, the Australians may deserve that because they don't get a lot of events.
No, we can whinge and bitch about not getting WrestleMania or even a SummerSlam or even a Ponzi pay-per-view these days, but they don't get squat. We get Raw and SmackDown twice a year, so fair enough. And a bunch of NXT.
Yeah,
and the other thing is
Triple H and Cena has been announced, which interesting. And also just remembered that they've announced the Raw Tag Team titles will be defended.
Whoever that might be.
Well, they currently slated to be Sheamus and Cesaro versus the Hardy Boys. That's apparently it. So Broken Matt and normal Jeff Hardy. Woken Matt and normal Jeff Hardy. But they've announced that it will be the Hardy Boys against Sheamus and Cesaro. So
that might not be for the belts.
Obviously, it's subject to change.
Vincent Daft, he's not going to put the post.
But that's subject to change. Things change. It's technically almost still a live event, but it's not. It's a very special network.
It's interesting because Bray Wyatt's been announced for the Rumble.
Yeah.
And I can't believe I'm talking about another Rumble. It feels.
Yeah. It's very.
Does the winner get anything?
Assuming if he gets a trophy, I think that's okay. I think in my eyes, but
I just think
it's very weird.
Kieran, I know it's great, and I know what they're doing is fun. I just think it's really weird.
Yeah.
It's a good thing, but it's really weird.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about this anymore because I just don't know. I don't really know where we can go with this. The only other thing I really want to talk about very quickly is we've got 4 people to talk about for the WWE induction ceremony on next Friday. We know who's going to be inducting a few of the people. Road Dogg, Jesse James, is going to be inducting Double J, Jeff Jarrett. What song did he sing?
Is it With My Baby Tonight? I think I'm not very.
Did you ever have that 3-disc CD as a kid? And it was the Now era, Attitude era, and I think Classic era. One was like a green disc. One was I've got that, and
I downloaded my songs from BearShare and LimeWire.
LimeWire, do you remember LimeWire? Brilliant. I think that Baby Tonight thing was on there. Edge and Christian will induct the Dudley Boys.
Yeah.
I'm begging for a Hardy's.
Can't wait for the story that they say for this one because it's
some backstage stuff.
Yeah.
I think that the when I think about Edge and Christian doing a speech for the Dudleys, I think it will be golden. I think it'll be very good.
Will the kazoos come out? Will the kazoos come out?
Oh, 100%.
Will there be a 5-second pose?
And I almost definitely think the Hardys will.
Yeah.
Be a little, the tag teams that made the tag team division, really. Molly Holly will induct Jackie.
Ivory, you mean?
Ivory, thanks. She's already in, actually, isn't she, Jackie?
Jackie's already in.
She wants to do Ivory. I mean, when Molly came on, she'd have been a cousin of Crash and Hardcore. And Ivory would have been in the Right to Censor.
I believe so, yeah.
So they weren't in the same... I mean, then like Ivory was around for a while. Then Molly dropped the whole blonde and cousin Crash thing and cousin Hardcore thing and went to Hurricane and then went to this
Mighty Molly.
prudy 40-year-old virgin gimmick. Weird. Post-Attitude Era. Not sure what we've got to do. Is it, what can we, And then they used to say that she used to wear granny panties, and that's weird. Weird. But she was a very good wrestler, which we shouldn't kind of disappear from. So, no, I think that'll be good.
Yeah.
Looking forward to seeing that. And it's...
The baffling one.
Why isn't this Eric Bischoff, Kieran? Paul Heyman will induct Goldberg. Now, apart from them both being Jewish gentlemen, what links these two together?
Well... Maybe in another life, Goldberg could have been a Paul Heyman guy.
Maybe he is a Paul Heyman guy.
Maybe he is. I'm sure there's some sort of respect.
I thought there's a lot of respect, but
logically this should have been Bischoff. This is Goldberg is a Bischoff creation. Why would it not be Bischoff? Apart
from the NWO, he's the only Bischoff creation, really.
Yeah.
I was thinking. Well, I know Paul Heyman was in WCW. But when Goldberg popped up in, 96?
97.
ECW was in full flow. It wasn't even like a case of it was early 90s and Heyman was knocking around.
Yeah,
this doesn't make any sense, period.
Heyman will sell Goldberg's induction to the Hall of Fame. I don't know, that sounds really bad because Goldberg doesn't need to sell his Hall of Fame career. But
I will never, ever, ever not be happy about a time when Paul Heyman gets an indefinite amount of time to speak on the mic. I will look forward to this one the most.
Yep.
And it will be good.
Guarantee that Paul Heyman mentioned something about Brock Lesnar in Goldberg's speech. In his pre-induction thing. Guarantee it. And then maybe Goldberg... They'll tease some sort of Goldberg-Lesnar match again, surely, They'll throw it out there like Goldberg say, I could beat Lesnar.
What did I do last time there was a match between these two? I went to bed.
Yeah, you did.
I went to bed.
And you missed it.
Yeah.
1 minute, 26 seconds.
Survivor Series.
Yeah.
Went to bed. Well, yeah, I don't know. Very baffling. But hey-ho, that's the Hall of Fame. We're going to be keep an eye on the Twitter. If I'm not there, Kieran will be awake. So hashtag DSM Wrestling, and I think the hashtag was it WWE HOF?
Yes, it is.
I think that's probably what the hashtag will be for the Hall of Fame induction ceremony. The Hoff, WWE Hoff, red carpet. I think probably was the old red carpet. Maria Menounos is normally strutting around that, and it'll be pretty good. So check that out, guys. So we've got a final little bits and bobs now to come up. We've got Smackdown Live, and big match has been set for Mania. Check us out, DSM coming back for Smackdown Live. Smackdown Live, Kieran. We have the final step between now and the WrestleMania week. This is it now. We're at the bottom of the 9th. There was a match made tonight. We're literally going to go straight into this. I think that's the first part of my notes.
It's always good to see when you see the little, like the SmackDown Titantron or whatever they call it these days, where it says WrestleMania a week from Sunday.
Oh, I know. Isn't that good?
Okay, so you can't work out what 13 days is.
Surely 13 days. But when you this is when it comes down to just simple mentality.
So it'd be 12 days on SmackDown, obviously not 13. there you go. There's the reason why we do it.
Yeah. What sounds better? 13 days till something or a week Sunday?
Yeah.
I think a week Sunday because you think it's a week away.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah.
But also you very well understand that 12 days or 13 days isn't that far away.
Do you include that same day though as a day?
Oh, don't. We haven't got that long to do this.
We'll do a new podcast about
what time saving days.
Yes.
Fun with lags.
Yes.
I forgot to say last week when Kevin and Sami were battering Daniel Bryan, they were screaming. And when they were screaming, it almost sounded like every time they hit him. Now I know you were saying off air, they were screaming because they were like, we didn't want to hurt him. But in simply a kayfabe way, when they were hitting him, or especially when Kevin was holding him in the corner and Sami ran towards him and Haluma kicked him, and he left his leg hanging over the top rope and screamed, ah! It was almost like when they beat him up, they didn't want to, but they know they had to. Really weird kind of dynamic.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned this, and I was like, you know what? To be fair, that's actually quite good thought process. You know, they obviously respect Bryan even from like their previous time in Ring of Honor and all that stuff. Because to be honest, I mean, let's say that Daniel Bryan is probably like the godfather of Ring of Honor. You'd say when you think Ring of Honor, you're probably gonna think Daniel Bryan. Personally, for me, that's what it is.
There's only other one man I think of, and that's CM Punk.
Yeah, yeah. So obviously, there's a respect there, and them screaming themselves through the pain of having to do what they needed to do. You know.
So, Bryan, we're gonna go talk about the Daniel Bryan stuff straight off the bat. In our first little bit here, we're told all night he's gonna come out. In fact, we do find out at one stage because Rusev. We're talking about Rusev later, but Rusev says, I'm going to go see Bryan. So,
he is there.
Definitely here.
Yeah, so I thought he wasn't going to be there.
No, same.
That's the impression I got from the beginning of the show, but then Rusev mentioned it. So
you tagged me in the thing on Facebook. See, I thought the really cool thing would be that we wouldn't see Bryan, we wouldn't see Shane, Kevin and Sami would show up and they'd say, hey, there's no GM, there's no commish, we're running this place today. I know we've been fired, but no one's here to tell us we can't be here. We're running the place.
Yeah.
I thought, just for 1 week, that would have been phenomenal.
I wouldn't have minded seeing Vince run it. Vince come out and says Shane's injured, Bryan's not here this week, so I'm going to announce the tag team match between Bryan and Shane and Kevin and Sami.
And we even said last week. Well, I think you agree with me. I said, who else can make this match apart from Vince?
Yeah. Maybe
Vince is the only one that can do this. So for Bryan to be here tonight, I'm not disappointed. But I guess because he's been cleared now, he doesn't have to sell it like a GM.
The powerbomb to the apron is when it was first done on Sami in NXT.
The first night Kev was in the business. In NXT.
Sami was injured for quite a while. Like he defended his title in the next takeover. Then I think he's done it a few more times, and it just seems the effect of that powerbomb should be like you're injured for a month, 2 months, you're out. Like you can't wrestle, you can't do
that long.
Yeah, in my opinion. But these days it's like, oh, we're back next week. It doesn't sell.
I thought Bryan 1 week off, him and Shane both show up next week, make the match. Considering that
Bryan hasn't been wrestling for nearly 3 years, you know, and
he's been in the gym a lot. Yeah, we know that,
but it's different.
In
real life, you know what the difference is between taking a bump when you haven't. If you took a bump now, you'd be like, that's gonna hurt.
Do I have to?
Yeah, exactly. You're gonna sit there and you're gonna say, yeah, it's gonna hurt. So even for Bryan, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt even more.
Because muscle memory will kick in eventually, but
your body's not gonna be hardened to it, and
I tell you what, mate, the pop he got when he came out, and he's trying not to smile, and he's fighting it, but you know what? I'm like, to hell with it, mate. Just enjoy this, because you never thought you'd get this reaction again.
I liked that he didn't go down to the ring and do, because obviously going down to the ring, he didn't do, because going down to the ring he does the DS
just to run and
I'm happy that he didn't do it. He's just done it by the stage.
Because apart from backstage or maybe in the ring, that's where promos are. Not many promos. If someone's in the ring, you do a promo in the ramp walking up to the ring. So no, I agree with you. I really like this.
Almost a little bit Nitro. Me and Gene used to conduct interviews by the stage.
Okay.
But obviously Daniel Bryan was there doing it by himself. He didn't have someone there. Mm-hmm. Maybe they could have done that with Renee or Charlie, just sort of interview him.
I did. I mean, fair, possibly, but I don't think he needed it.
No.
I think it was great.
I think it was a great little promo again.
The he spoke very candidly, very honestly, and he made a match.
Yeah,
we changed the match, really. Kevin and Sami will not face each other at WrestleMania. Spoiler, shock horror.
Yeah.
It will now be Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan. If Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon win, Kevin and Sami are still fired. So assumingly, go to Raw.
Assumingly,
They're not going to NXT, are they?
205 Live?
It's not 305 Live.
Yeah, I don't think Kevin will make it.
Sami might. Sami will have to trim a few pounds, but potentially. They're going to Raw.
Maybe El Generico could go there.
The tweets. Yeah. Please check out our Twitter. El Generico tweeted, and Kevin Steen has popped the tweet. But El Generico, because he has a Sami Zayn account, he has an El Generico account, and El Generico tweeted in the week, and I nearly cried.
everyone went wild. The internet
Oh my
broke.
god, it broke. Especially when you showed me the Kevin Steen.
Yeah.
Kevin Steen changed his thing to Kevin Owen. Kevin Steen changed to Kevin,
Steam fight.
which is his old.
Yeah.
And because they've changed his name, what's happened? He's lost his verified.
Oh, has he?
Yeah,
Ah.
that's what happened.
He'll get it back.
Oh, within about a day. By Mania, it'll be back.
Guarantee someone's already just taken the fight Owens fight username.
They would end up paying people for
Yeah,
that
that's
stuff.
what I do. But you get free couple of t-shirts. It's fine.
Why did we think of that? Dirty Mania is now at Stevie's. We've got so many followers. So he made the match, but if Kevin and Sami win, they get their jobs back.
Yeah.
Now, I thought there might have been something thrown in where if Kevin and Sami win, yeah, they get their jobs back, but then Daniel or Shane maybe lose their jobs.
Lose it, which I think
Job for job.
ultimately makes sense because I think Shane needs a bit of time away. Personally, I think he's done too much now.
Even when, do you know what? Out of both of them, he's been on SmackDown more than Bryan.
Yeah.
Because obviously Bryan had the situation where Brie went into labour, had the baby. Brilliant news. And he kind of disappears every now and then.
Yeah.
Shane has been the main authority figure, for lack of a better phrase, on SmackDown.
And obviously he's had this feud with Kevin Owens for quite a while as well.
For a long time.
Yeah.
Since SummerSlam.
Yeah.
What's that, 7 months? August?
Yeah, something like that.
8 months?
Yeah.
Had to count that.
Yeah. Again, time, day, podcast, something like that. We should do it. Just talk about time and day.
It takes months and months.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that would be good. The way Bryan was doing this speech, this promo, I was like, he's gonna after WrestleMania. The way he was going about being a GM, not liking to go board meetings, not liking. I'm thinking, as of WrestleMania, he's going to officially announce he's stepping down as general manager.
Yeah,
he didn't though.
No, he didn't.
He might still do, but he didn't.
We've still got one more SmackDown before Mania. You might see the Kevin and Sami saying, "Yep, we accept your match." But
they did it on the tweet.
Oh, okay.
That was off the Sami Zayn account because the Fight Team fight and the El Generico one that was off the Sami Zayn account. The tweet popped up.
You still might see next week. Okay, well, but if we're going to face you, we want like the referee to be fair or something like that, and we want to make sure that if you lose your jobs.
Small theory, that Shane gets taken out before the match.
Yeah,
I'm not meaning in the ring. I mean backstage.
So there's rumours that Shane may not make Mania.
I don't know how true
or not.
If it's
we don't
gimmick.
know. It could be gimmick. You don't know these days. Which is good. I'm all for that.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
But maybe Bryan has a new partner.
And that partner might be, and I think we
can speculate a lot. The only one that makes sense, is Chris Jericho.
Yeah, because he is a SmackDown guy.
He's a SmackDown guy,
and he got taken out by Kevin Owens.
Yeah, but he has a show with Fozzy on that day.
Where?
Don't have a clue.
Okay,
but is it a possibility that this match goes later on in the night? He gets flown into New Orleans.
Oh, of course it is.
That's probably about a 4 or 5 hour flight. I don't know. Look, I don't know. Could be a possibility. But Jericho's the only one that makes sense. Only other possibility I would say in my head I'd allow to happen is Samoa Joe, just purely because of Ring of Honor stuff.
4 Ring of Honor guys in the ring together.
Potentially. Daniel Bryan calling a favour. Maybe Daniel Bryan could call someone from NXT, Johnny Gargano. Just blow our heads a bit more. Just explosion. Yeah.
Could him and Regal good pals? Could call a favour in
potentially. So let's play a bit of fantasy booking here.
I like this. Go on then.
So Shane and Bryan versus Kevin, Sami. So ultimately, Shane McMahon turns on Bryan. I don't know what. It'd be a stupid reason to, but
don't make me cry. I've got my Shane McMahon jersey.
So obviously,
I'm gonna cry.
Sami, Kevin keep their jobs.
Yes. And so if he screws Bryan,
then the feud becomes Shane versus Bryan and all that
SummerSlam.
Stuff. And then later on in the night, AJ versus Shinsuke. Shane costs Shinsuke the match and takes AJ, and AJ, Sami, and Kevin, and Shane become like the premier stable on SmackDown, an NWO type stable. Let's not call him a club.
The Ring of Honor.
They just call him the Ring of Honor or something like that.
Or as you wanted the Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, and Bobby Fish stable to be called Honor.
Just to be called Honor.
Such a good name.
Yeah.
If they're calling a team the Club, which is such an obvious rip-off of the Bullet Club. I mean, crumbs. Have you seen that T-shirt? Yeah. Then why not call a team that's come from Ring of Honor? Honor.
Yeah.
2 of them are tag team. The other 2 used to be a team, and Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole. For Christ's sake, call it Honor. I mean,
but
would you imagine if they called it Honor? Kevin Owens was in a heel stable in Ring of Honor called Scum, and they had a Ring of Honor. I don't know if you Ring of Honor versus Scum show, and if Scum won, it would be called Scum of Honor because they refused to do the handshake and things like that and the whole honor. AJ turning heel, I'm completely for, because he's done it before and he's brilliant heel. Sami and Kevin have been doing great, but they need a little bit of an extra.
Yeah.
Shane joining them, the commissioner in the back pocket. We haven't really had a commissioner on screen every week in the pocket, out with the crew, doing all that kind of stuff since the brand split.
Yeah.
I mean, you had when you had the Authority, yeah, okay, Steph was out or Triple H was out, but
in my eyes, in terms of WWE, and this is obviously what New Japan and Ring of Honor do, WWE lack, and they have lacked for a number of years, probably since the Nexus, but they lack one big stable. And I think it's all the time. I think they don't like going ahead with the stables. Maybe they see it very old school and things like that. But
I tell you what, I've not watched all of it, but I've been watching through on the New Japan World service. Highly recommended. The Strong Style weekend.
Yeah.
Was show, and the first 4 matches are tags. First 4 matches are tag matches. One of which is Bullet Club versus Bullet Club. And stables galore. Chaos, Bullet Club, Bullet Club Hunters.
Yeah.
There's so many different ones. And WWE has none. Has 3-man teams, Shield.
Yeah, this seems to be the most that they go for is 3-man.
New Day.
You know, yeah. But having a 4, 5, 6-man stable, I think, especially on SmackDown, because I think SmackDown needs something to focus around.
And then what I would really like for SmackDown to do it is a SmackDown versus said team.
Yeah.
Because then you can almost be like, who gets the power?
And then you can almost tease them going over to Raw on one of the pay-per-views.
Survivor Series, SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Well, all the pay-per-views will be dual branded now.
Yeah.
So that we could definitely have.
It's fantasy booking. Love it to happen, obviously, because if it's in your own mind, it'd be great. But ultimately, it probably won't happen.
Jinder Mahal needs a new tag team partner
because
Samir Singh, as we know and as we later find out, was lying about his injuries. So Jinder could get a better tag team partner against Bobby Roode and Randy Orton for the tag. He picks Rusev. I'm sure they used to be a tag team.
They were on Raw. I think Corey mentioned it. I think
Did he?
On commentary. Yeah, they were literally a tag team before
for like 3 weeks.
Yeah,
4 weeks
before the draft.
Oh look,
WWE's shake-up.
WWE's classic. Yeah. Oh look, we have 2
foreign wrestlers. Let's put them together. They're not American. Let's do it.
So Aiden English come out of Rusev.
Yeah.
So instantly, oh hello, Jinder and Rusev. This will be good. Place goes nuts for Rusev.
Yeah,
absolutely ballistic. They absolutely love him. Match is pretty standard tag match up to the point where Bobby and Randy kind of.
It was a pretty standard tag match, but this actually went quite long. I thought it was quite a long match. And
I did open the show.
I think this may be because Charlotte was on the show. I think they were probably a last minute thing. Like they've gone, okay, let's just make this tag match a little bit
because there's no
longer.
women's champion on this, right? Yeah. Because we see later on, Ruby Riott does face Becky Lynch in a match where Becky she beats her, then she throws Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan over the top rope, and it's like, oh, they're all in the Rumble. Sorry, they're all in the Battle Royale. That's it. Yeah. Like that is literally the point of the segment, just to prove that Becky can throw people over, which is your theory about saying that Becky might win at Mania. So that's that. So because of no Charlotte, no impact in a women's division aspect, why not just put the emphasis on the United States title?
Yeah. And
so
it needs it.
So that Bobby got pushed onto Randy because of Jinder. So Jinder's master plan of making them fall out with each other because they kind of get on, kind of don't. They've RKO'd.
It's very one-upsmanship, and you know.
I'm better than you, but we both hate this guy. So by doing that, Randy managed to pop an RKO onto Bobby after a bit of a oh you stop it kind of push and shoving match.
It's quite good to see Randy Orton smiling a bit in this match, because I think what Randy suffers from sometimes is he doesn't enjoy doing what he does.
Who knows if he does?
Yeah, but in this he was quite, because it was a semi-serious one-upmanship thing. Whether he's like playing that character so well that he's like, you know, making me doubt it.
80% of the time these days, Randy's job is to sharp RKO someone and go out.
Yeah. But he looks like he enjoyed himself during this match.
He's a great. having this US belt is potentially a lease of life for Randy, new lease of life, because he's a Grand Slam winner now.
Yeah.
He's done it all. Everything now Randy does is a sprinkling of a topic on the Hall of Fame career. The end of the match, Rusev ends up doing I want to call it a Machka kick. I'm not really sure.
I think it is a Machka kick. Yeah.
To Randy and pins him.
Yeah.
And the second this happened, I'm thinking, hello.
Yeah. Fatal four-way.
Hello.
Yeah.
Multi-man main has just got another one.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, he makes it a four-way. And because of the 50-50 booking, I'm thinking Rusev will win this match. I can see it.
Yeah. But we'll talk about it in a preview show.
We'll save that for next week. But
do you think there'll be another person added to this match next week?
English. What? Yeah, in English.
You think?
I think he got
it. Do you think they'll make it a fatal five-way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Corbin's
in the Battle Royal.
And
he's been. So I don't think it'll be Corbin. I don't think there's anyone else.
English
possibly. I don't think there's anyone big enough to be re-entered into this match.
Okay, can I just say one thing really quickly? I know they've already announced what he's doing, but if they put Dolph in this match, I'm quit. I quit.
It doesn't make sense.
I quit.
Yeah.
Please don't put him in there because I don't want to quit. I take it all back. Sorry. Speaking of Dolph, they've put him, Fandango, and Tyler Breeze in the Under the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
So Dolph and Tyler Breeze quite look like each other, so they've probably gone solid.
And they had a match.
Yeah.
And the entire time, I couldn't take my eyes off Fandango.
He's a good-looking chap.
He's a very Curtis. Is it Curtis? Curtis.
Yeah, it's Curtis.
Johnny Curtis.
Johnny Curtis. That's it. I was going to say it's Curtis something, but it's Curtis Johnny.
Curtis Hughes. It's not Curtis. I watched this. I was watching Smackdown with my girlfriend's, and she looked over at the point where Fandango was gyrating against the apron, and she looked over and went, "Is that wrestling you're watching?" She doesn't care. She's not. I was like, "Yes, dear." She went, "Doesn't look like it." And then Fandango ran around the ring as well.
It's quite funny that your girlfriend also sounds like your mum.
And my gay accent as well.
Your gay accent as well.
Yeah. Well,
I'm pretty disappointed that your girlfriend didn't go, "Oh, I'd love me some with Fandango."
well, I was going to show her Fandangoing.
Yeah.
But she wouldn't understand.
Yeah. I'm sure if you'd done that naked, you'd get some more brownie points.
With all three fingers?
Yes.
Dun, 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 dun. That used to be your intro music.
It used to be, yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, back in the day.
When we had a complete
proper studio.
Well, I had a proper studio. And
we're suddenly just developing one in here.
It's going well, to be fair, considering we started with a table.
Yeah.
We're doing, and a dictaphone. We're doing pretty well. So they're in the match. I think Dolph won, but it doesn't really matter, to be fair. The only other thing before we get to the main events I want to talk about is the tag team division. It was supposed to be the Bludgeon Brothers versus the New Day. First time we've seen all three members of New Day on SmackDown since the Bludgeon Brothers battered them and the Usos at Fastlane. This match was going quite alright until the Bludgeon Brothers went, nah, no more. And they got the old hammers. Usos run down for the save. Match gets thrown out. And eventually, after the brawling has digressed and settled down, everyone's, apart from the Bludgeon Brothers, keep the higher ground. You know, basically it was 5-on-2 at one point, and they managed to hold their ground. Okay, the hammers are the equalisers, effectively. And again, later on, we find out it is official. This match will be a three-team match for the titles. We thought this might happen.
The way they're advertising this on Twitter makes me think that they are actually going to give Usos a WrestleMania match. Now, to quickly go to Mania, and I know we're going to be talking about it in a preview show, but there's 14 matches. If you include Cena versus Taker, there are 14 matches, including the two Rumbles, two Battle Royals, Cruiserweights. So,
because we were saying this is going to be 14 matches and potentially 15 if you added Sasha, Becky, and Bailey, but we know that's going to be.
So that's 14. So in my eyes, 3 go on the pre-show.
The both Battle Royals and the Cruiserweight. No.
One, the men's Battle Royal goes on the pre-show. The Cruiserweight title goes on the pre-show, and then you've got to move something else to the pre-show. Probably Reigns versus Lesnar. I don't know what match you could move there. Possibly.
They can't move the US title.
They can't move the US title. Well, I think that's probably the most likely one actually, because you can't move this. You can't move the Raw Women's. Too big a storyline.
Cannot move the SmackDown.
Can't move the SmackDown one. You can't move the Raw tag titles.
No way.
Because Braun's there.
You can't move to
You
SmackDown.
can't move to SmackDown ones
Because that's going to tear the
New
place
Day
down.
and the Usos.
And we forget, okay, I'm not a massive fan of Eric Rowan, but I love Luke Harper.
Yeah.
He's phenomenal, and he's so underrated and undervalued.
So
That won't be moved.
So what can you move? Like, you know,
Make the pre-show smaller and the main show longer.
yeah, I think that's genuinely have to do. They have to go 1 hour pre-show, 6 hour Mania.
Why not? The only match I can see being moved, like you're right, is the US belt. But no, I generally think both Battle Royals and the Cruiserweight. It will that for me is what will happen. That's 3, so 11 matches on the main show, which was last year. Same
10 last year
on the main show.
Yeah,
So
I think I actually worked out and I sent you a picture.
You did
in our little WhatsApp group.
You did, and I got scared.
Yeah, there's only been one other WrestleMania that had 11 matches, and I think that was
16?
26.
Really?
Yes.
16 is a lot. Man every corner. That was another multi-man Mania.
Yeah, it was.
Lots of really rubbish tags. And the only other point we want to make from last night's...
Yeah, sorry, let's go quickly back to SmackDown tag, because we didn't talk about it much.
It's official.
Yeah, it's official now.
And we're going to get into who we think is going to win.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good match. Like I said, I really love Eric Rowan and Luke Harper. So Luke Harper for me is potential to be MVP. He's so much sweet ass stuff for a big guy.
Yeah.
He's so good.
Eric Rowan's improving. He's always been the...
What they've done though is that they have, even when he was with the Wyatts, he was overused.
Yeah.
What they're doing with this is they're minimising his use. It's just impact stuff.
Yeah.
Again, at Mania, there's so many dudes involved in this match. His weaknesses will be protected, and that's how people might be like, "Well, why would you protect his weaknesses?" That's what wrestling is.
That's what Paul Heyman used to do in ECW.
Right, you accentuate the positives and hide the negatives. Yeah. They haven't got a big entranceway in ECW, but the matches in the ring were better than WWE ones, WCW ones. Everyone is different. Eric Rowan is a great hard-hitting man. Don't make him have 20-minute matches, and there's no need to.
Of course not.
Did he win the Intercontinental title?
No, Luke Harper did, didn't he? But Rowan didn't win.
No. He was part of that team, though, wasn't he? Remember?
Yeah.
Team Authority versus Team...
Yeah, he was randomly thrown out in the middle of a Raw one time.
Massive pop.
Yeah.
And the main event, Nakamura versus Shelton Benjamin. Nice little match. 2 vets.
Yep.
Nakamura earlier requested the presence of one AJ Styles in his corner because he wants 100% Nakamura versus 100% AJ WrestleMania. I'm thinking, okay, I like this. Where is it going? Because obviously Chad Gable's going to be with Shelton. Keep the numbers. Fine. Okay. Match happens. Don't really need him, to be fair.
No.
AJ is, for all intents and purposes, and to be fair, Chad Gable and Shelton, they normally have a little bit of what's it, but they didn't. After the match, Nakamura invites Mr. Styles into the ring and gave him a wonderful excuse of a promo and just said, "Yep, I invited you I invited you to ringside because I know I didn't need your help, but I just wanted you to see it up close and personal when I beat you with knee to face." Nakamura leaves. AJ's looking real. Oh, and AJ gets, before I should say Nakamura leaves, AJ gets so fired up here. And it's the first time we've seen these two really have it with each other.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, okay, this match is just picking up the bit of steam because with face versus face, you don't want to push one of them heel too much because of you don't want to go too far with one because if you can't get them back again,
you don't want to muddy the waters too much.
Right, exactly. So by having Gable and Jordan, you really make that kind of right. They're the heels, they're the faces. Yeah. When eventually Nakamura leaves, Gable and Jordan jump AJ. Nakamura, he does go back for the save.
Yeah.
And then when he sees AJ down, he gears up for the Kinshasa. He gets ready, and he runs all the way over, and he stops just in front and pats him on the head like a little chihuahua and mugged him right off.
Brilliant.
And
absolutely brilliant.
By doing nothing.
Yeah.
Just by doing nothing.
It's all mind games now, isn't it? And this is what it'll be next week. I'm sure AJ will get the upper hand next week in terms of the mind games.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless AJ just snaps and just beats Shinsuke up.
Well, I tell you what though, in regards to if you're going to turn one of them heel, Nakamura's wound up AJ enough, and you want to talk about Shane, this fantasy booking thing with Shane turning on Bryan.
AJ thinks he can't beat Shinsuke and needs Shane's help.
You know what? They've had a history. Yeah. Last year? What happened? AJ versus Shane.
Maybe Paul Heyman. If you want to go for the Paul Heyman SmackDown GM route.
Bryan becomes a wrestler. Heyman becomes the GM. Shane's the commissioner. Shane's a heel. Oh my god! I'm just getting an erection now. SmackDown could be just indie-rific.
It could be.
It could be indie-rific. Imagine
But as always,
Bryan on one side with Paul Heyman, Shane on the other side with AJ. Oh my god, it could be Bryan Nakamura versus Shane and Kevin Owens and Sam. I need to lie down. Finish the show.
As always, Craig, this will never happen because WWE don't listen to us, and they're pretty much right to never listen to us. So, you know,
very good point.
We come up with some crazy stuff.
That's been Dirt Shit Mania episode 9. Guys, next week is WrestleMania week. We need to think about what we're doing. We've put it on Twitter and Facebook. It's Monday. Sunday
will be the quiz, which will be the quiz master is the intern, Jamie Smith, my brother.
Your brother.
The Ginger Ninja. Monday we'll be recording our NXT Takeover New Orleans preview show.
Well, now tonight, because it's Wednesday, tonight we'll know who the finalists of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic will be. So we might either find out who won before the show, or we might just speculate between. I don't know. We'll figure that out as we go along. Then on Wednesday,
so we're doing that on Monday, and that'll probably be out late Tuesday by the time we've edited and all that.
Well,
stuff.
we're doing a video, aren't we?
Yeah.
So say Tuesday.
Yeah, and then we're going to be doing our preview for WrestleMania. We're going to be recording Tuesday/Wednesday.
Yes, probably Tuesday.
Probably Tuesday.
To be out Wednesday, but
depending out what if anything happens on SmackDown on Tuesday, that
which
changes.
we don't
think
so.
So that'll be out hopefully Wednesday night or maybe
latest
Thursday morning. Yeah.
Which
and the WrestleMania preview show will be our weekly episode. So that'll be technically episode 10 for us.
It'll be episode 10 of WrestleMania special. I think
there will be a video on YouTube, but we'll also put it out as an audio.
Lots of video content coming this week. Lots of video content.
And then
I'm thinking maybe we do a couple of Viking Seriouses.
Yeah, maybe
because we're gonna be doing it in the studio for a fair bit. Yeah. Why not do a couple of minute little things? Yeah. I think we might do some of them.
We'll bring that back, and then obviously that leads into Hall of Fame Friday,
tweet
Saturday, WrestleMania Sunday. After the show Sunday, depending on how knackered we are, because it probably will be about 5 a.m. We'll do a little Facebook Live or something just to quickly review the show.
Who's gonna win?
You know, what
could be 10-0.
Yeah,
it could be.
Yeah,
it could be 10-0.
It could be. I think it's that.
It could be 0-0.
Yeah, it could be.
But it won't, because Roman's definitely winning.
Yeah. But we'll do a little quick review of what we thought and how we thought it was, and then obviously we've got Raw after Mania Monday night, SmackDown one after Mania Tuesday night, and then we'll do our review show for those two shows, and possibly more of a review on Mania on the Wednesday.
And after five late nights and some sort of working effort, I think I might need about a week of sleep.
Yeah, that's what it does. It's Mania week. It's exciting. Can't wait for it.
So. Guys, he's been the director of creativity because he creates so I can procrastinate. I have been the chief of wrestling, Craig Anderson. We will see you guys plenty next week on YouTube. Don't forget to check us out on SoundCloud. Subscribe on iTunes. Follow us on Twitter. Like us on Facebook.
Subscribe to us on YouTube.
I said that.
No, you said, there's loads. iTunes, YouTube, SoundCloud, Facebook, Twitter.
It's 1 a.m.
Instagram.
I'm going to bed. We'll see you next week, guys. It's WrestleMania week.
It's Rusev Day. Sorry, it's Rusev Mania.
Rusev Mania.
Oh.
We'll see you next week, guys, for Rusev Mania.
I'm going to sleep.